All right, cool kittens. Make sure you're on the page that says multiplication with standard algorithm. Circle standard algorithm, and we're going to put this equals efficient. An algorithm is often the most efficient way to solve problems. Now, it is not the only way to do these things. So if you're more comfortable with the array model or another option, you'll get to do that today as well. But let's start with example 1. Find the product, circle that, of 3,282 and 7 using this standard algorithm. Underline standard algorithm. Well, first up we have the array model, or the array model, super fancy. And our first number is 3,282. So let's break that into its place values. First is 3,000. Next is 200. Next is 80. And finally 2. On the left side, we just have the 7. So put 7 right on the left side. First box, we're going to be multiplying 3,000 times 7. 3,000 times 7. Remember that dot thing just means multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. Put 3 zeros. 21,000. Great, move on. Next two numbers, we have 200 times 7. That equals 7 times 2 is 14 with 2 zeros. That's 1,400. Next box, 80 times 7. Try it on your own. 560, nice work. And then 2 times 7 gives us 14. Make sure you have each of these green underlined numbers written in your box. I'll give you 5 seconds to catch up. Great, moving on. So these 4 numbers are our partial products. To find our final product, we have to add all these puppies up. So underneath, line up your digits, 21, 0, 0, 0. And then 1, 4, 0, 0. And then 5, 6, 0. And 1, 4. Notice every digit is lined up in the correct place value, because that's how we add multi-digit numbers. Okay. Ignore that. Here we go. In the ones place, we have, I'm going to write this in red so you can see our, actually I'll do blue. Here we go. Blue Z's. Now 1 gives us 4. Tens place gives us 7. Hundreds place gives us 9. Thousands place gives us 2. 10,000s place gives us 2. Final answer, 22,974. 22,974. Check your work. Make sure you got it. All right, that was the array model. Now we're going to try the standard algorithm. Look on your page where it says standard algorithm. When we multiply 2 numbers with the algorithm, we set everything lined up to the place values to the far right. So first number is 3,282. For right now, I'm giving you these fun box things to use. Later on, there's not going to be a fun box thing, so don't get too used to it. And then we're multiplying it by 7. So set your algorithm up just like this. Notice everything is set up to the far right. Okay, so here we do, in blue, my first digit I'm multiplying is by 7. I'm just going to highlight this. Don't do this on your paper. Just watch. So we start with the 7, and then we go to the green number, which is 2. We're going to multiply that. Then we'll move on and multiply it by the tens place, then the hundreds place, and then the thousands place. So that's what's about to happen. I just don't want you to get confused as we move on. All right, so erase my highlighters because that's a little too much. And we have 3, 2, 8, 2. All right, let's go to work. 7 times 2 is 14. Put a 4 in the ones place, and then carry or regroup that 1 into the tens place. Now I move on to the tens place. 7 times 8, that's 56, plus the 1 we just regrouped gives us 57. Put your 7 in the tens place, and that 5 from 57 is regrouped into the hundreds place. All right, continue moving on. We have 7 times 2 again. We're looking at the hundreds place. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 5, think about it. 14 plus 5. If you're thinking 19, you're correct. 9, carry the 1 into the thousands place. 7 times 3, that's 21, plus the 1 we just regrouped gives us 22. And since we're done with all of our digits, we'll just write 22 at the bottom. Put your comma. I'm going to box it in blue. Actually, bubbly thing. Yes, bubbly thing. Love those. And we can check our final answer, 22,974. Now, if you notice, check this out, we have the exact same answer for the array and for the standard algorithm, 22,974. So that makes me feel pretty good that this is the correct answer. If you ever get different answers for the array and the algorithm, one of them's most likely wrong. So go back and check it to make sure you're getting the same answer for both. It's a really good way to double check your work. Move on to example 2. Here we go. Get your pencil ready. I'll get my black pen. Let's work. Find the product. We already know. Boom. Circle it. Multiplication sign. Of 73 and 42 using an array and the algorithm. I forgot to put that. My bad. All right. So the array. Draw the array. The big rectangle. And we know we have 2-digit numbers on top. 73 is 2 digits. And then the next number is also 2 digits, 42. So we need to split this box in half long ways. So I have a spot for a digit here and a digit here. So 2 digits on the top and bottom. 73 becomes 70 and 3. 42 becomes 40 and 2. New pen. Let's do some numbers. We have 70 times 40. That gives us 7 times 4 is 28, plus the 2 zeros, 2,800. Moving on, 40 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 0 is 120. Nice work. Moving on. 70 times 2. Ooh, that's a weird looking 2. My bad. There we go. 7 times 2, that's 14, plus the 0 is 140. One more left. It's the easy one. 2 times 3 gives us 6. Make sure you have each of these underlined values written down so we can add them up. All right, time to add these puppies. We've got 2,800. I'm just going to put it, Mr. Phelps ran out of space. Right here, 2,800. I have 140, 120, and 6. Notice place values are all lined up, so I can add these all together. In my ones place, that gives me 6. In my tens place, 4 plus 2 is 6. Hundreds place, 8 plus 1 is 10. Put a 0, regroup the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, comma gives me 3,066 with a red bubbly thing. Now let's try it with the standard algorithm, a faster, more efficient process. So I'm going to get my black pen, and our goal is to get this same answer, 3,066. Let's see if we can pull it off. 73 times 42. So here's 73. Here is 42. We're doing multiplication. Here we go. All right, 7 times 3. I know that gives me 6. So now I move on to 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. So I have nothing else to regroup, put a 14. Pause here for a moment. The next step that's about to happen is the biggest mistake I see in 5th grade math for multiplication. We're now going to move on from the ones place, we just finished the 2, and we're going to start multiplying everything by this 4. Well, that 4 is not actually worth 4. It's in the tens place, so it's worth 40. So before we start multiplying the 4 times the 3 and the 4 times the 7 above it, I need to put a placeholder 0 right here. So take your pencil and put a 0 underneath 6. We're doing that because we're about to actually multiply everything by 40. And we know that when we multiply something times 40, like for example, at the bottom you can just practice 40 times 3, that would give us 4 times 3 is 12. And we would put a 0 on the end to make it 120. So this 0 that I'm underlining, just watch for now, I'm underlining in green. Those zeros are basically doing the same thing. So let's try to figure out how this is going to work. So blue pen, where you at? There you are. Beautiful. Moving on. So put a 0 here, because we're in the tens place now. And now we can start multiplying. 4 times 3 in the ones place, start there first, gives us 12. So put a 2 and regroup the 1 just like that. And now I have this 4 again times 7, which would give us 28, plus the 1 we just regrouped is 29. And now we can add them up to see what we get. 6 plus 0, that placeholder gives us 6. 4 plus 2 gives us 6. Oh, we're getting close. 9 plus 1 gives us 10, put a 0, regroup the 1. And 1 plus 2 gives us 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got the same answer. Hallelujah, hallelujah. 3,066, which is the same thing we got with our array. Happy face, because thank goodness I didn't mess up. That's great. Make sure you've got all of this down before we move on.